Today we will be working on wrists, elbows, and shoulders. So go ahead and get onto your mat, coming down onto your knees and bringing your big toes together, and then bringing the arms out front, letting the head rest on the ground or a block or a blanket, and allowing yourself to settle in. Maybe for the first time today, finding complete stillness for a moment or two. When you're ready, start to let the breath get a little deeper. Feeling the torso expanding three-dimensionally. And as you keep the head on the ground, come up onto all 10 fingertips, the very tops of the fingers. And as you start to lift the arms, feel the upper arm bones lifting. And as you push through all 10 fingers, feel the underarm skin turning toward your ears. Now you're going to lift the head up just a little bit and begin to walk the hands over to the left side. Now it's okay, come off the mat. And then once you're all the way over there, let the head return. And simply take 3 slow breaths here. You can count to 5 on the inhale, and count down from 5 on the exhale. When you're ready, lift the head up just a little bit, and truly enjoy the journey as you walk the hands all the way over to the right side. And when you get over there, let the head return to the earth. And as you feel the torso expand three-dimensionally, allow the exhale from your left wrist to your left hip to grow a little longer. 5 count in. 5 count out. And then slowly start to walk the hands back to the center. For a moment, coming back up onto all 10 fingertips, just like a spider doing push-ups. And as you stay on those, slowly come up to tabletop, bringing the hands under the shoulders and yet staying on those fingertips. And start to do a few cat-cows, arching, dropping the belly, rounding, tucking the chin. Just a few of these. But then as you bring the hands flat, get nice and lengthy through the spine, and then begin to lift just the palms and the thumbs off the ground so you feel all 8 knuckles, just a little bit. And then slowly lower them. So we're going to do a bunch of those. Slowly up. Slowly down, slowly up, slowly down, up, down. Avoid popping, and then lift them. Keep them lifted, maybe come down a little bit, come forward a little bit. 6, 5, 4, I know, 3, 2, 1, and then slowly drop back into child's as we began on your fingertips for 3 breaths. Pushing the hands back in. The inhale rolls you back up into tabletop. And this time start to take the hips forward and open up the heart. Big opening of the heart, fill up. As you exhale, you're going to push into the hands round the back and the hips to the heels. So we're going to take a few of these, going forward and back. The inhale opening. Fix any shirts that need to be fixed. Inhale forward, opening the heart nice and wide. The exhale, rounding, pushing into the hands. Now this time as you come back up, once again starting in that even position, this time turn the hands out about 45 degrees. And just like before, you're going to lift the palms and the thumbs up a little bit, just a little bit up, a little bit down. Stay with me. Feel all 8 knuckles from index to pinky. Couple more. I know, it's nasty. shoulders away from the ears, and then lift and hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, shoulders forward maybe a little, 3, 2, 1, and then drop back to child's. Once again, on those fingertips, this time 2 breaths. Slowly back up to tabletop. This time we did up and down, side to side, going a little side to side here. Seeing if you can stay on that horizontal plane. Feeling the sides, fixing the shirt. So we did up and down at first, forward and back, and now we're doing side to side. This time turn the hands in 45 degrees and really open those collarbones and begin. Up and down, lifting the palms and the thumbs up just enough to feel it. Keeping that long, flat back. I know, stay with it. The slower, the better. And then hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dropping back just for a breath this time. Feel the back ribs expanding. Belly pulling in. Back up to tabletop. And this time we did up and down, forward and back, side to side. Start to incorporate all 3 directions. Starting to move around, almost like an amoeba. Sometimes I think about like a cartoon character as I move forward and back, side to side. Discovering the wrists, the elbows, and the shoulders. A couple more breaths here. Just enjoy it. Play with it. This is your practice. And then begin the last round. Hands start up, down, up, down, up, down. Evenly on both sides. Up, down. Keep going. And then lift, hold for 8, 7, come down halfway, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, dropping back into child's, and let the arms now just be heavy. Finding that even breath, expanding the torso. And back up to tabletop. This time as you turn the hands out to the side, maybe turn it to the thigh with left hand, and then begin to circle over your left hand. You want to keep the torso flat, but it's like you're stirring your forearm and your wrist. Big circles, and then going in the other direction as well. When it feels pretty good, take a cat-cow just to reset the spine. And then this time turn the right hand first out to the side. And if it works for you, all the way back, a little bend in the elbow. And as you shift over the right hand, begin to make those big circles. And if you find a little nastiness, go ahead and just give it a little extra love. But when you're done with the current circle, slowly flip the right hand back around. This time as you tuck your toes, begin to round and lift the hips. Begin to pedal the legs, bending one knee and then the other. Shaking out the head. It's a shorter version of a downward dog, so don't worry about what it's supposed to look like. Just moving the hips, the ankles, the knees. Shake out the head. And then begin to walk your feet up right behind your wrists so they're just as wide as your hands, and bring the backs of your hands to the ground. So the backs of your hands, and then begin to push the wrist down into the ground. Now you'll need to bend the knees a little, but really push the wrists into the ground. And as you push the wrists into the ground, begin to make fists. Now they're going to be more like claws, but you can drop the hips, keeping the head heavy. Keep pushing through the wrists though. I know. If you use your phone at all, this kind of sucks, but stay with it. Pushing down the forearms and the wrists into the ground. Last time, bend the knees, letting the head hang heavy. And then let the hands return. Shake out the head. And then you're going to step back into the first real downward dog of your day, or maybe just the last hour or so. Move the hips, pedal the legs, and then come into a high plank position, where it's like you're going to do push-ups, and you're going to lower the ground all the way. Allow the hands to be under the shoulders. And then go ahead and grab one of the props close by, a block or a blanket, and put it underneath your head, and then reach your left arm straight out to the side. Allow the thumb to line up with your eyebrows, the body is straight, and then take the head over to the other side. Slowly you're going to roll up onto that left hip. Now take a moment and feel the front of your left shoulder. You can't see it, but the front of your left shoulder just off the ground a little bit. Roll onto that hip. You can move the hips forward a little bit. You can walk the left fingers back a little bit. But as you settle in here, energetically, start to feel the left shoulder moving away from the ear. Feeling the right hip rolling back toward the back. Just another breath or so here. And then roll back onto your belly. Look over at your left arm, and all you need to do now is bend the left elbow and make a 90-degree angle with the left arm. As you look back, slowly roll back onto this hip, and then you can stay here. This is a great place. Or you can bring your bottom leg out in front of you at about 90-degree angle in the knee. You're welcome to stay like this. Or if you have half lotus, put your right foot into half lotus, or bring your right foot onto the ground in front of your left knee, so the two touch. Your right hand on the inner right thigh. And all you have to do is breathe. If the jaw is soft, energetically feel the left shoulder once again, drawing down toward the hip. Find another breath here. And then as you bring the right hand down, I like to straighten the bottom leg and then bring the top leg down to meet it and roll back onto your belly. As you look at your left arm, remove any props. And then as the hands come under the shoulders once again, at first bring your left arm straight ahead. You can pull the shoulder back a little. And as you lift up, bring that left arm right underneath your collarbones in line with the front of your mat. Slowly bring the chin down onto the upper left arm. You can start to feel the right shoulder dropping toward your inner left elbow. 5 count in, 5 count out. Energetically, that left shoulder drawing down toward your hip. And you're welcome to stay like this, or with your left fingers, hold on to your left thumb, lift the chin up, and then simply bend the left elbow and bring your chin onto the pinky side of your left wrist. Now, if you push down and you can't breathe, you're using your throat. Use your chin. And as you push down right between the hand and the forearm, it's also a throat stretch. Pushing down with the chin. And then when you're ready, lift the chin, begin to straighten that left arm, and bring it back out front. As you roll onto your left side, be as straight as you can from your heels to the left fingertips. And then bend the left elbow and bring the left palm underneath your left temple. And let the head get heavy. Energetically, the left shoulder once again, trying to move to the hip. It is a balancing asana, so if it's a little wobbly, you're totally doing it right. When you bend your right knee, bring the foot behind you, and as you roll onto your back, don't worry, you can adjust and be all straight. But then once again, you're going to bring the left arm out to the side with the palm face down. You're going to bend the left elbow, keep the elbow where it is, and bring just the fingernails underneath the ribs. Now your left wrist is going to be bent, that's okay. You're going to bring your right palm up and over on top of that left wrist. And then this is where it gets good. Begin to roll back up onto that left hip. As you roll, you look at your left elbow and think, someday my right shoulder will get there. But for now, just take a handful of breaths. This one, pigeon for the shoulders. It's a doozy. One more breath. And then one more. As you begin to come out, roll onto your back, drag that left arm up by your ear. And at first, you're going to return to your left hip. And as you bring the big toes together, bring your left hand on top of your right hand and the forehead or chin on top of your left hand. Now let everything go. The breath, the muscles. Simply recognizing the left arm versus the right. Coming back to the breath, bring the hands back under the shoulders. Grab that prop for underneath your head, and this time you're going to bring the right arm out to the side. Lining the thumb up with the eyebrows. Take the eyes over to the other side and slowly, there's no rush here, begin to roll up onto that right hip. Now make the adjustment. Maybe the hips come forward a little. Maybe you walk your right fingers back a little. But then find your space and take a few breaths here. Evenly in, evenly out. Energetically, that right shoulder drawing down toward the hip. One more breath here. As you roll back onto your belly, look at your right arm. And then this is where you bend it, like you're turning right on a bicycle. When you roll back onto your right hip, this time bring your right leg, the bottom one, out about 90 degrees. I like to line up my shin with the side of the mat. And then this is the crazy one. This is where you bring your left foot, the bottom of your left foot, flat onto the ground in front of your right knee. And so the knee and the heel touch. Your left hand goes onto the inner thigh. And with a nice long back, fill up. As you exhale, start to feel that right shoulder drawing to the hip. That outer left knee dropping toward the inner right ankle. 5 count in. 5 count out. As you let the left hand come back, begin to straighten the right leg. Bring the left one down to meet it. And as you roll back onto the belly, remove the prop and then slide your right arm forward. As you roll onto your lift up through the heart and bring the right arm across. So it's going to be different for all of us. But as you rest the chin on the upper right arm, you can feel your left shoulder dropping toward your inner right elbow. You can even bring the left arm down to your side. But you should be feeling the right shoulder drawing down toward the hip. As you inhale, begin to lift the chin. And all you're going to do here is simply bend the right elbow and bring the pinky side of the right wrist underneath your chin. And as you push down, let both shoulders get heavy and feel the front of your back ribs. Slowly lift the chin, straighten the right arm, and then that's when you bring it forward and you roll right up onto your right side. Now once again, be as straight as you can. You can look down your body, and then as you lift the head, slide the right palm under the temple. I have the fingertips touch the top of my head, and then simply lounge, letting the head get heavy in the hand. Think about that right shoulder blade sliding down your back. Once again, a little wobbling is okay. When you're ready, bending the left knee, bring the foot behind you. This is where you roll onto your back. And as you reach the right arm out to the side, once again, take a look at it and just bend it and bring the fingernails under the rib cage. Now, once again, your wrist is going to be bent. Your left hand comes up and over and pushes it down as you begin to roll up onto that right hip. As you look at your right elbow, start to feel that left shoulder drawing toward it. As you find this pigeon for the shoulders, energetically feel that right shoulder drawing down toward the hip. Stay with it here. Slowly coming out, the right arm up by the ear. And at first, when you roll back over, bring the right hand on top of the left this time. Let the big toes touch and let go. Feel the jaw and the tongue soften. Feel the post effect. Slowly coming back up to your hands and knees. You're going to walk your knees up toward your hands. And I like to cross one ankle over the other. And simply leaning back, bringing the legs out in front. Sitting up tall. Shake out the arms. Keep shaking the shoulders, keep shaking the arms. Keep shaking. Now start to shake the arms even more. Start to bring them up. Start to shake the fingers, the arms, just like you won bingo or something, or one of those car dealership things. Really start to shake it, keep shaking. I know they're getting heavy, keep shaking. Keep shaking. And let the arms come down. Finally, roll onto your back. Let the head rest onto the ground. And as you find stillness on your body, slowly take in one more breath, filling up deeper than you have. And at the top, hold the breath. Now, as you hold the breath, let go of the muscles you don't need. See if you can inhale a little bit more. And since no one can hear you, open your mouth and from the bottom of the lungs, let it all go. Begin to let the muscles soften. The tongue fall away from the teeth. The arms and legs as if they're melting off of the torso. In this place of stillness, begin to recognize how the body feels. Begin to twinkle the fingers a little, wiggle the toes, and as you reach the arms all the way back, start to reach the feet all the way forward. And as you exhale, let it all go. As you bring the knees into your chest, give yourself a loving and well-deserved hug. Rolling a little side to side, and then pick one side or the other and simply melt onto that side. Soaking in this feeling that you created. When you're ready, come to a seated position. Whichever works for you, having props underneath you or not. But as you sit up tall, bring the left and right hand together in front of the heart. And taking 3 more even breaths together, exhaling completely. The light and energy inside of me bows and respects the light and energy inside of you. Thank you for practicing. Namaste. You're welcome to just sit here and absorb the practice. But most of all, enjoy the rest of your day.